Good afternoon, and welcome to Transaction TV. I'm your host, Anthony Atanasio, CEO of Hawk Strategies, and joining me today is our good friend and one of our great transportation leaders in New Jersey, Kris Kolluri.
Thank
Kris,
you, Anthony.
thanks so much for being here today with
Thank you
us.
for having me.
So I say one of our great leaders of our transportation network because your role has expanded. When we met 2 years or 3 years ago, you were the head of the Gateway Development Commission. Then you became the head of New Jersey Transit, which you still are the president and CEO of. And then Governor Sherrill, to the great delight of the transportation community, named you the executive director of the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. So first, congratulations on
Thank you.
all of the titles.
Thank
But if you could talk to our audience, tell us a little bit about what it's actually like. What is it like to be the head of two major transportation agencies?
Well, thank you. First of all, it's great to be with you. And I can't tell you how much it means to have not just a friend, but a thought leader in the industry who volunteers his time to do this transaction conference every year. It's remarkable that what you've
Thank you.
done.
Thank you, sir.
For when the governor asked me to do both these jobs, the word that she used was alignment. What she really wanted to focus on, how do you align the interests of both these organizations to serve the customers of New Jersey, whether it is a Turnpike user or whether it's a transit user? Her focus is it shouldn't really matter which agency is providing service. Our focus should be to move somebody from point A to point B in a safe and efficient manner. I thought that made intuitive sense. And I actually love the fact that I'm able to put that into practice day in, day out. And I love the fact that my colleagues at both the agencies have not only gotten closer, but are working actively to think about what projects they can advance together that could serve both the organizations.
That's incredible. I mean, and if you look around us, at the transaction conference in our 50th anniversary, our largest turnout yet, decision makers, thought leaders, advocates, it doesn't matter. Every piece of the transportation community is represented here. So it's so encouraging that our governor, you and Governor Sherrill's been a real exciting breath of fresh air for the transportation community because, to your point, she's looking at us as what we are, one community delivering services to everybody, regardless of how that mode is utilized. So cheers to you and the governor for making that a reality. So now let's talk about your customers, both New Jersey Transit and Turnpike, but we'll focus more on the transit commuters at the moment. What are some of the things that they can look forward to over the next few years? What are some of the improvements that New Jersey Transit's rolling out to improve their customer experience?
Absolutely. I've been in this job now for about 16 months. Over the last 16 months, I've prioritized a couple of things: customer experience
Mhm.
and rolling stock, which is
Oh, yeah.
rail cars and buses, and financial stability. The governor, a few weeks ago, signed an executive order number 16, to codify some of the expectations that she has of New Jersey Transit for our customers. So, what does that look like? She wants things like clean stations, something I've tried to do and I think it's really a great objective. She wants real-time information for customers. We are in the process of now redesigning our entire app to not only be more customer friendly, but also focus on things like what is a real-time information look like.
Right.
I'll give you one small example of what Senator Zwicker asked me on in the Senate Budget Committee. It is not unusual sometimes for trains to have a train number on it, but not a destination for where it's going. The train number is important to the operator,
Right.
but not important to the customer.
Sure.
So a simple fix like that fundamentally changes the customer's approach to New Jersey Transit and the information they get so they can make decisions. This is not rocket science, right?
Right.
But what we've also not had, Anthony, is money. This is the first governor in recent memory who has given us, at least in our budget proposal, 11% increase in budget, which is unheard of.
It's
And it is such a departure and a breath of fresh air for us because we're able to now implement some of the things that she's talked about. Secondly, just this week, the governor and I unveiled our brand new multi-level cars, which are going to be coming into the system by the end of this year.
Mhm.
We're going to have 40. We're bringing in almost 250 brand new buses,
Wow.
and over the next several years, another 1,200 buses. What I'm suggesting is, for the first time in 47-year history from New Jersey Transit, we're focused on things that the customers have actually asked for: new equipment, better service, more reliable service, and more reliable information. That's what we're focused on.
And it seems, to your point, it seems simple, but it's like you're running like a business. These are your customers. You want them to be satisfied. You want them to come back, right? And it seems pretty intuitive. Although, when I was deputy chief of staff at the agency, one of my great successes was I was the one who got the rail lines color coded. They used to all be black and white. Now, what if you're a commuter who runs into us? You're not a commuter. What if you're a one-time or two-time a year user? You don't know which train line is which, and you're late and you're trying to find
That's
it.
right.
But it was a battle to get that done. So sometimes it's the little things that are hardest to get done, but they matter the most to the user.
It does.
And cheers to you for embarking on that. So now we're talking about little things that matter a lot. Let's talk about a big thing that's going to matter a lot to a lot of people. Let's talk about World Cup for a moment, and let's talk about FIFA. Very similar to when the Super Bowl came to New Jersey, there's a heavy emphasis on using mass transit, not driving individual vehicles. Much different approach this time, much more comprehensive, it looks like. Talk to us a little bit about what New Jersey Transit has been doing to prepare for the world's largest sporting event.
Absolutely. Context is important. The Super Bowl, 130 million people watch it. The World Cup, almost 3 billion people are going to watch. The other thing that is different about a regular concert or a game versus the World Cup is there's the 19,000 parking spots that exist at MetLife are no longer going to be available.
Right.
New Jersey Transit, therefore, is responsible for moving 40,000 people each game, which is the most we would have ever moved.
Right.
We now have the ability to do that, but it is also operating under an extraordinary security perimeter. And so there's going to be a perimeter at Penn Station, at Secaucus, and at MetLife. This is a very complicated process with security controlled not by us, but by others.
Sure.
And we have to function within. Equally important, it is an expensive proposition. Look, it's a very exciting thing. Everybody, including the governor, is excited that FIFA is coming to New Jersey. But the fact of the matter is, these 8 games are going to cost New Jersey Transit at least $48 million.
Wow.
The governor has said very clearly that she is not going to let the customers of New Jersey Transit or taxpayers of New Jersey subsidize the travel to those who are going to the game. I think that's only fair.
Yes.
She's saying the people who are going to the game should pay for it, not the regular commuters.
What a crazy idea. The
Yeah.
users pay the fee,
Exactly.
right? Wouldn't that?
So
Yeah.
it seems to make sense to anybody you explain this to. If someone has a better idea on how to pay for the $48 million, New Jersey Transit is happy to give them
They're
the
all ears,
wiring
right?
instructions,
Sure.
and they can send us the money.
Sure. Well, we're looking forward to that because, it's a point of pride that our state and our region can host the world's largest sporting event in an aged state with aged infrastructure, a densely populated state, and we know you're going to succeed. So speaking of success, let's finish up with you were the head of the Gateway Development Corporation, and you successfully attained a full funding grant agreement. Some may argue what kept that project alive during some recent political consternation. And now you sit as the CEO of New Jersey Transit, which is an integral partner of the Gateway program. And we had CEO Pendergrast on this morning, and we'd just love to hear your perspective as the head of New Jersey Transit about what this has been like, where you're at, the unbelievable delivery of Portal North everyone knows about, but we're about to embark on the tunneling operation in New Jersey for a mile of tunneling in our state. Talk a little bit about what people can expect.
Look, the current North River tunnels, as they're called, is almost 125 years old. It makes no sense to me that we haven't, in all these decades, really made an attempt. In fact, we tried a couple of times and didn't get there. But what we have done is now put the construction of a tunnel on a pathway to actually get it done. Let me just talk about the challenges. Despite all the political and legal challenges, not one person has ever said that the merits of the project is not there.
Correct.
So I feel supremely confident that this project will happen with the support of the federal government. And in fact, the money that they are getting reimbursed is evidence of that.
Yep.
And I think we need to keep going down this path because ultimately the lifeline of the economy is transportation. And if the most critical link between New Jersey and New York fails, we don't have other options to move that many people. Just to give you one data point, just New Jersey Transit alone moves almost 130,000 people in and out of New York per day.
Every day.
And that's a lot of people who now will have to rely on the cars or buses or
The
other
tunnels and the bridges can't do that.
because they're already maxed out.
Absolutely.
So we need this system and the tunnels to work. That's why we're building a brand new set of redundant tunnels to make sure we have the capacity.
And, you know, cheers to the Pennsylvania Railroad Company. I mean, those of us in the world of all red conquering Gotham, it was an amazing They did that in the early 1900s. We can do this now. And
That's right.
And we are going to. And they're going to be better tunnels. They're going to be amazing for our region, our economy. And we can't thank you enough for not giving up and staying on that. We know with your leadership there, it's going to get done.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's always an honor to have President, CEO, and Executive Director Kris Kolluri with us. But here at the 50th anniversary of Transaction, felt a little bit more special. So, Kris, thank you so much for being with us on this episode, and we look forward to our continued work with you.
Thank you so much. Look forward to working with you.